Hey guys, Ilya here, and this time we have some breaking news to discuss together. You in the comments, me in the video, so let's start. Wargaming decided to super test all 5 tier 10 light tanks, so they made some changes to them. Some got minor changes, some got major changes, and we are going to read those changes right now and discuss those changes. So let's begin. First, T100 LT. 5 extra shells to the ammo rack, which is not really important. And reload time decreased by 0.6 seconds. So is this good or bad? Is this right or wrong? I think it's right, because T100 LT has the smallest alpha, which should be compensated by good DPM, because that's real logical for a light tank. For a light tank that can't really deal much damage with one shot, then at least it can keep enemy tracked, or it can out DPM someone at least, because at the moment it couldn't really impress anyone in terms of DPM. So that's a really interesting change. But you know, if you have half a second quicker reload in the battle, that won't really give you so much advantage that this tank will be super OP and everything, although I consider it the strongest tier 10 light. So in terms of performance, you won't really get that more damage, extra damage per battle. It's not something that will make this tank super damage dealer, so I guess it's a good thing. Next comes XM551 Sheridan, or just a huge American light. Alpha damage increased from 360 to 390, and a bit more ammo, just as T100 LT. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Personally, I think that Sheridan really needed some firepower buff, because as a scout it's so bad that you need to make the tank good at least at something, so that, well, it can't really scout, so then let it damage at least. And they changed its alpha damage. They increased its alpha damage to 390, which sounds like a valid option. It will really help Sheridan to deal more damage. The question is it the right way to do it by increasing alpha damage? Why do I even question that? Because if we look at the next tank, WZ1321, which got some 4 shells to the ammo, and that's all for its changes, and that's really everything it needed. Then what's the special thing about the Chinese lights? Starting from tier 7, WZ131, WZ132, WZ132A, and WZ131 have the best penetration of all lights and the biggest alpha damage of all lights. So it makes sense if WZ131 still has the greatest penetration and alpha damage of all other light tanks on its tier. Because Chinese lights, of course, have not very good gun handling, they are average scouts, so that's really special thing of the line. Chinese lights are penetrating alpha males. Well, that sounded really super. Anyway, if Sheridan gets the same alpha damage, then this whole speciality of the Chinese lights, it just vanishes. Which is not a good thing, in my opinion. What I would change in Sheridan, I would keep its 360 alpha damage, but increase the rate of fire, because that's how the American line looks like. If you look at Bulldog with non-autoloader gun, then it has really good rate of fire. It has like 4 and a bit seconds reload. If you look at T49 with 90mm gun, it has like 6 seconds reload, I don't know, like 5.5 seconds reload. Anyway, they have smaller alpha, well, average alpha, and they have good DPM. That's the feature of the line, and then Sheridan suddenly gets some big alpha. That's just out of logic to me. Okay, that's all I wanted to say about Sheridan. Then AMAX 13105. Same thing, alpha damage increased from 360 to 390, and 1 extra magazine. Well, 1 extra magazine is good. As for alpha damage, and as for the tank itself, Well, with 390 alpha damage, this will be like under bad shot, because it has worse accuracy, it has better gun handling, which is compensated by worse accuracy, so it's not really more accurate than bad shot. And it will just have a magazine of 3 shells. It has poor view range. I don't know. Again, look at the whole line of AMXs, of light tanks. AMX 12T, 1375, Batchat 12T, AMX 1390. What is special about those tanks? They all have 4 shells in the magazine, not 3, they have 4 shells. And the damage of each shell is relatively small, usually. And they have good intro clip, like 2.5 seconds at most, AMX 12T. The other have 2 seconds or 2.2 seconds in case of MX 1390. The question is, why don't you just follow that logic? Make MX 13105, give it a magazine with 4 shells, 320 damage each, with 2.2 seconds or whatever you find better intro clip, and with relatively, well, with good gun handling, better gun handling than now. And, well, maybe you can have slightly better accuracy than now. And then you will have clear advantage over bad shot in certain things, in gun comfort and in the intro clip. And that's the way it was, like, in the whole line, starting from tier 6 up to tier 9, and then suddenly tier 10 just turns into something in some bad shot which wasn't properly fed in the childhood, so it didn't grow into big bad shot. So again, these changes to alpha damage will improve performance of 13105. But will they improve the performance in the right way? Will they make this tank special? The answer is no, I think. Panzerwagen. Panzerwagen got a huge rebalance. It's not really buff, it's a rebalance. Alpha damage decreased from 360 to 320, improved aiming time, reload time decreased by 1 second, so its DPM drops, and improved gun handling. For a tank that can't scout at all because it's huge, it's insanely huge. It's a second line medium, it's like very close to Leopard 1 in concept. You cut down its DPM and alpha damage, and now it won't be able to deal any damage. It couldn't scout, it could hardly deal damage now, but it won't be able to deal any damage like that. Why? The idea of Panzerwagen is that it's a sniper. And right now it's a pretty poor sniper, because it aims very long, currently, and also its final accuracy actually isn't that good. It misses a lot, trust me. It's 0.36, which looks better than other lights. In practice it's not better. It misses a lot, even if you are fully aimed. I don't know why, I don't know how that works, but its accuracy is really shit. Just as 13105 is a poor sniper, so is Panzerwagen a poor sniper. What I would do to Panzerwagen is simply, you take current Panzerwagen, you improve its aiming time to 1.2 seconds, so that you have very huge aiming circle on the move, but when you stop, it's like whoosh, and then the final accuracy should be like 0.32. And maybe you could really improve its rate of fire a bit, because if the tank can't really scout, then give it some DPM so that it can at least deal damage. And then Sheridan will be an active damage dealer with good gun handling, and this will be a good sniper. And those are the 2 damage dealers among top light tanks. And MX 13105 will be kinda okay damage dealer also, and sometimes scout. Well, MX 13105 could also use 10 meters of view range. So that's how I would change the light tanks, and these changes which I see here, they will improve performance of all those tanks apart from Wheezy and Panzerwagen. Panzerwagen was bad, it will stay bad. I think it will even be worse, because how are you supposed to play it without alpha, without DPM? And all the other changes will improve the performance of the light tanks, but they won't really make those tanks special. They won't really make those tanks follow the logic of the lines they are in. So leave your opinion about all these changes in the comments. I will be very happy to read all of your opinions. Maybe you have some interesting proposals for changes to the light tanks. Maybe you are happy with these changes. In either case, if you defend your position well, it's always interesting to argue about stuff. And there is another small thing which I want to add. It's not about LT10, it's about some other small changes. Wargaming decided to split the American light tank lines into autoloader line leading to T-57 Heavy and non-autoloader line, which takes you through Bulldog, T-49 and Sheridan. And they will do that by introducing, finally introducing T-71C MCD not as a premium, but as an alternative Tier 7 American light tank, which will be just like regular T-71. T-71, did I say it right at first? Yeah, they introduced T-71 CMCD. So that will be just a copy of T-71 that we know, but without autoloader. So the lines will split at Tier 5 already. So M7 and T-21 will lead to T-71 with autoloader, and then T-69, T-54E1 and T-57 Heavy, and the other line will have non-autoloaders, namely T-71 CMCD, after Chaffee and T-37, then T-71 CMCD, Bulldog, T-49 and Sheridan. This is how they want to build this line. Personally, I see no point in that, and currently we have T-70, the only T-71 between those lines. They kind of merge, M7 and Chaffee line, they merge at T-71 and then split at T-71 again, with one line going to Sheridan and another one going to T-57 Heavy. What's the whole point in introducing a copy of the tank without autoloader? I don't know. I would be happier if they made it premium so that you can have some premium light tanks, because I think the game really lacks premium light tanks. So leave your opinion about this whole idea as well, and we can argue about that too. That's all I wanted to say in this video. Thank you for watching, guys, and see you in the next videos.